After 9 long years, we finally got it. The FNAF movie. And this movie was in development hell for years until it was picked up by Blumhouse. Yes, you heard me right, Blumhouse, the makers of the recent Halloween trilogy. And it just seemed they were busy working on Halloween. And as soon as they got done with Halloween Ends, it was all fair game for Five Nights at Freddy's movie because they went immediately on it. But let me address the biggest elephant in the room before we even doing this. This is not a rated R movie. This is a PG-13 movie. I'm sorry. I don't care. I don't care. With what we hear, what happens in the lore, because we're OG FNAF fans, what we hear in the lore about kids getting kidnapped, stuffed in the fucking suits, fucking kids being murdered, spring locks ripping apart human flesh and shit. And we see no blood and gore in this movie. We see no blood and gore in this movie. We see shots of people before they get, fucking hit or, killed or whatever you want to call it. But we never see a kill scene in this fucking movie. They're all off screen. I understand why they made it PG-13 to get more audience, which means you didn't have faith that the tried and true older FNAF fans would watch this movie. So you had no faith. So you wanted the best rating possible. You wanted the most people watching this possible, so that's why you made it PG-13. And that's an issue. You can't make a movie like this PG-13 with how its lore is. That's really what pisses me off about this movie. You made this movie PG-13. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Especially for a Blumhouse film, when they're known for the gore. Come on now. It's a Blumhouse film. Come on, what the fuck's up now? Let me address another character. William Afton. Played by my boy Stu. You might know him as the live-action Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, or he was one of the killers back in the OG Scream. He plays the killer in this one. Now, when they first announced this, I was like, okay. Because I knew what he did with Scream, so I thought maybe this could work. When he shows up at the end with the Springtrap suit, or the Springlock suit, because this is before he becomes Springtrap, I didn't like it. He shows up at the very end and does nothing. He doesn't kill anybody. He just beats up Michael Schmidt for a little bit. Yep, that's all he does. How are you gonna put Springtrap in the trailer if that's all you get of him? And Springtrap isn't... William Afton has a decent amount of screen time in this movie himself, but Springtrap or the Springlock suit, he shows up at the very end. And turns out that he manipulated all the kids that he killed into doing his bidding. So our protagonists have to show the animatronics what really happened. Well, I guess this series was all about drawing pictures and shit. We saw it in all the trailers. So this is not even a surprise why there's pictures being drawn. I never minded that. I kind of expected that with how much we got that in the series. But, here's another big thing about this movie. The animatronics aren't all bad. Which, if you really follow the lore, yes, that is true. They aren't really that bad. because phone guy always said that the animatronics always worked well with kids. They always worked well with kids. But when they are in the presence of an adult, they just stare or whatever he said or something like that. I do think the idea of them not being fully evil makes complete sense. Yes, that makes complete sense. What doesn't make sense is how there's no blood and gore in this movie. That really brought it down for me. I'm not trying to see if it's a superhero movie, that's a different story, but I ain't trying to. Why? I just can't wrap my head around why would you make this movie PG-13 knowing how pissed people off will get. I did not wait 9 fucking years to watch a non-gory slasher. I'm sorry. And I didn't expect this to be a slasher, but I expected blood and gore. And I didn't get that. Because they put the PG-13 rating on it. So we knew way ahead of time, this movie's probably fucked. There's a lot of elements that this movie does right. I like all the YouTuber cameos by Corey Kenshin, Matt Pat, Markiplier, you name it. I love all the cameos. But it just seemed like everything was shoehorned in at the end by Vanessa. It just seemed like that to me, at least. Everything was shoehorned in. You introduced the concept of the murderer wanting to kill him right then and there, where it wasn't really teased. Because at that point, we didn't know. We find out it was the guy that gave him the job. They obviously, and I was like, wait, it's him? Because earlier before we saw him at a desk with his, like, there's like, you know, you have like on the desk, you have like name tags. It didn't say William Afton. It said a fake name. So that was a good trick. I'll give him that. That was a good trick. But we still know he was William Afton because we know the actor. So just in case if you don't know, that's a nice trick for them. But I like that. I like how it's not blurting out, oh, William Afton killed these kids or whatever. It's not blurting out immediately. There's a lot of lore from the game that's featured in this, but I don't think there's enough. Now, let me talk about the iconic 4 animatronic, or 5 if you want to count Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy has a cameo. I was like, when I first watched the movie, I thought it was just Freddy beat up, but then I was like, wait, why is he like withered and shit? So I'm like, that has to be Golden Freddy. It occurred to me a little bit after that fucking scene with Corey Kenshin. Oh shit, that wasn't Freddy, that was Golden Freddy. So and I love how Mike's crazy ass, his sister, I forgot. But this girl wants the kid that, Michael is trying to raise. Michael's trying to raise his own sister, which I can respect that. She wants to take that from him. So, but the thing is, she meets a gruesome end at the hands of Golden Freddy. Off screen, of course. Because why would you see anything on screen? Man, I thought Halloween Ends was horribly bad, but no. if I keep mentioning the rating, yes, that really pisses me off. That really infuriates me. But I'm not gonna shout about it. But that really does infuriate me. So that's gonna lower the rating that this movie could have gotten. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. Um. Hmm. What else to talk about? Uh. I know Scott Cawthon was behind this project. He was producing this project as well as Jason Blum. Um, so you can definitely see a lot of Scott Cawthon storytelling in this because you can tell how he tells stories, and you can just see a lot of Scott Cawthon in this. So, as to be expected, he wants to be a part of this series. It's his baby. So, um, uh, still can't get over the PG-13 rating, man. But gotta get over it sooner or later. So, you must be wondering what my final rating of this movie is. This movie is not atrociously bad. I feel like if you're not a guy wanting gore and a movie series game of a movie game that features a lore about people getting stabbed and killed and stuffed in suits and then spring locked failures fucking locking up on their bodies. If you don't think just that lore alone doesn't require blood and gore, there's something wrong. Because there's no way. They wanted to get the most audience possible. It seems like they were just scared that if they made this R rated, not a lot of people will watch it. That us true, tried and true FNAF fans. Well, support it. So they needed the extra audience, the extra 13-year-old, 13, 15-year-olds, or whatever you want to call it. They needed the extra audience. So this would get more people watching it. Do I think this movie is horrible? The blood and gore thing is annoying, yeah, but besides that, there's a lot of stuff I like in this movie. I do like Stu as William Afton. He's not like how I would expect William Afton to act, though. He's like a cartoon horror movie villain, to be honest with you. It got a pop out of me when he said the line before he put his mask back on when the spring locks are going off of him. I like the callback to the "I always come back" thing that's been like in the series since like FNAF 3 or whatever, or FNAF 2 or whatever you wanna. I'm surprised they even put Springtrap in this movie, but we got a retelling of the end of FNAF 3 in the minigame of how the Springlock failures went off on William Afton. Yeah. So, my final rating for this movie, with everything that just, there's a lot of plot points that don't really make sense, and it's too shoehorned in at the end. I'm gonna have to give this movie a 6 out of 10, unfortunately. As much as a big FNAF fan I am, or was, I'm not as big of a FNAF fan I was, but I did not wait 9 fucking years to see a PG-13 horror movie about kids being killed and stuffed in the suits. I'm sorry. I did not wait 9 years to watch a PG-13 horror movie. I'm sorry. So if they want to continue this route, making it PG-13, I don't know if I'm going to watch the next movie. Yeah, that's how much I'm infuriated with the PG-13 rating. You don't have a story like this. Like, if it was a story that didn't require a lot of blood to tell what it's trying to tell, no. The whole appeal of the FNAF story is how gruesome it was. How gruesome William Afton, or Purple Guy, what he did to those kids. That's what made it so amazing in the first place. In this, we don't get any kills, nothing. Zilch, nothing. All off screen. All off screen. That is bullshit. I'm sorry, but that's just bullshit. But 6 out of 10. Yeah. So, hopefully, they change this shit and make it rated R. Because if they don't make it rated R, I don't know if I'll be watching the sequel to this shit. There might even not even be a sequel because this movie is already performing bad in ratings. I've seen them. So, yeah. It's sad. But the FNAF fan diehards are probably going to say this movie's good. It's not good. You don't have a story about fucking kids getting killed, stuffed in the animatronic suits possessing them, and a purple guy or a William Afton getting spring locked. And not have him scream bloody murder when he gets fucking spring locked. Are you serious? That's just how are you not screaming bloody murder when the spring locks lock onto you? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Is it to make William Afton look like a badass? He can still be badass and be realistic at the same time. If that's what you were trying to do. I'm a big William Afton / Springtrap fan, but that wasn't it, guys. That wasn't it. Shows up in the end in the suit and does nothing. Just beats up fucking Mike a little bit. That's all he fucking does. I expected Mike to live. I expected his little sister to live. I expected that. Don't get me wrong. But you're telling me all William Afton could do was just a bunch of simple kicks and punches? Are you serious? Are you joking, bro? Where's the stabby? You have the fucking knife. Fucking use it. Don't just fucking sit there and strangle people when you have a murder weapon. If you had no murder weapon, okay, I guess strangle would probably be the best option. But you have the murder weapon. You know what? Before I get another rant, I'm going to end this video. But this movie wasn't it. It wasn't horrible, but it just wasn't it. So, we'll see you guys in the next one. You guys are probably wondering why it wasn't Spider-Man 2 next. Spider-Man 2 is coming. It is coming. So, and I just had to get this out here because I just had to rant my frustration of what they did to this movie. So, in a bit, guys. Peace.